Morning friends, today we are going to study the production technology of Sapota. Sapota, that is Manilcara acarus, Mexico is the origin, that is America, and family is Sapotaceae. So in India it is cultivated for delicious sweet fruits, and the fruit is flesh berry, variable in shapes, size as well as in the weight, that is 75 to 100 gram per fruit. The skin is thin, rusty brown, somewhat scurfy looking like Irish potato, and the pulp is soft, melting and crumbling with a sandy or granular texture with 1 to 5 hard black seeds. And the fruit is good source of digestible sugar, that is 12 to 18%, and an appreciable source of protein, fat, fiber as well as minerals, calcium, phosphorus as well as iron. So it is the most popular fruit in the Maharashtra, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh as well as other states like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and UP, West Bengal, Punjab and Haryana. Gujarat is occupying around 5,500 hectares of land under this crop, and Valsad is occupying maximum area, that is 3,300 hectares, and other states are districts are Junagadh, Bhavnagar as well as Kutch. So which type of climate is very much suitable for the sapota? So let us see climate. Tropical, it is a tropical fruit. So obviously tropical type of climatic conditions are very much favorable for this crop, and it is grown from sea level to 1,200 meters above the sea level. It prefers the warm and moist weather. Coastal climatic condition is the best for this crop, and temperature prevailing 11 to 34 degrees Celsius is the best for this crop, and it can thrive well above the 41 degrees Celsius, cause flower drop scorching. As far as soil is concerned, hardy natured crop is this sapota, and deep alluvial sandy loam, red laterite to medium black soil are the best for this crop. Drainage is the most important requirement for this crop. If there is a waterlogging condition, that may affect negatively to the production of this crop. Hard rocky or the limey soils or sticky soils are unsuitable for this crop, and crop is tolerant to salts of some extent. So among the varieties of this crop, according to these different states, Andhra Pradesh, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and other states, most of the varieties are suitable for different states, and among that for the Andhra Pradesh, this Pala, Kirti Barthi, cricket ball, these are the suitable varieties. For the Gujarat, Kalipatti, Bhuripatti, Pilipatti, Dhola, Diwani, Jhumakya and cricket ball are the most suitable for this crop in this state. For the other states, that is a CO1, CO2, PKM1, these are the famous and known variety among the farmers. So this is the picture showing the fruits of the Kalipatti. This is picture of cricket ball with this few seeds, 1 or 2 seeds in this crop, in these fruits, and this is the fruit of CO1, this is CO2, CO3. So these are almost oblong type of the fruits are there. PKM1, PKM2, PKM3, these are the fruits of this crop. And as far as propagation is concerned in this crop, vegetative propagation is most suitable. Among that, air layering during the rainy season, ground layering only in the Maharashtra is suitable, while pot layering in the Maharashtra and Karnataka are suitable at some extent. But the most important and most commercial, we can say feasible propagation method among the farmers is this inner grafting is the best. So rootstock of the sapota, khirni, that is a rayan, or you can say mahura, are used for this crop. Grafting period is January to February. Khirni is best because of the hardy plant, seed is easily available, tolerant to the salt, deep rooted system and tolerant to the adverse climatic conditions. That is why this khirni, or you can say this rayan, or you can say mahura is the best suitable for the grafting in this crop. Different rootstocks are also suitable for this crop. Sapota, rayan, that is mahura, mee tree, that is available in the Sri Lanka, and star apple. These are the other sources of the seeds which are suitable for this crop, but the commercially feasible is this rayan only in this region. This picture shows the air layering, and this is the grafting. Okay, now air layering and grafting, different what are the different features of this grafting and air layering, difference between both of this method is known to you. So, among this air layering shows the have the shallow rooted system, while in the grafting it is deep rooted system. It requires more than 90 and deep centimeters deep soil, more yield, that is 15% more as compared to the air layered Sapota, as well as longer than the Gutti. Gutti, it is also known as air layering. So, as compared to the air layering plants of the Sapota, we can have the maximum yield as well as longer life duration of this crop. Now, as far as planting is concerned, as per the mango square system, pits of the 1 by 1 by 1 meter are dug, filled with 40 kilogram of FIM plus soil. Planting of at the spacing of the 10 by 10 meter during the early monsoon is desirable. Training and pruning, well balanced branches showed there is no need for the training, because branches are well balanced in all the directions. Diseased and crossed branches are pruned regularly. Growth from the rootstock removed up to the 90 centimeter, which is we can say whatever the rootstock we are using, it arises somewhat branches, or you can say shoots. So, we have to remove it regularly in the initial phases. Flowers appears in the leaf axils, and there is no pruning of the branches are required. And irrigation can tolerate this crop can tolerate the drought, but respond well to the irrigation. So, 8 to 10 days interval irrigation we have to give it regularly on the regular basis, and so that we can reduce the flower drops in this crop. As far as manure and fertilizers are concerned, for the bearing trees, 50 kilogram of FIM per tree, and fertilizers, that is 1000 gram of nitrogen, 500 gram of the phosphorus and 500 gram of the potash per tree per year is required. Among these, 1/2 dose of this in the June and 1/2 in the October is to be given. Fertilizers applied 2 meter away from the trunk in 30 centimeter wide and 15 centimeter deep trench, so that we can make the fertilizer as well as farmyard manure easily available to the root system, and we can get the maximum benefit, we can get the maximum use efficiency of these fertilizers and manures. As far as intercrop is concerned, generally vegetable crops and banana and papaya and pulses are desirable, because some of these are nitrogen fixing, and all the crops which are not occupying the height more than this Sapota, we have to go for the intercropping. Under the tropical conditions, throughout the year fruiting and flowering is appearing. However, July to November and February to March, to 20 ppm naphthenic acetic acid is sprayed for the higher fruit set and yield. Cross pollinated, this one is a cross pollinated crop and protogynous in nature. So, female is receptive before the male. Okay. Among the harvesting and yield, grafted plant after 4th year and seedling after 6 to 8 years, we have to go for the harvesting in this crop. Harvesting during the March and April as well as September, October, these are the most we can say most feasible and the peak seasons for this harvesting of this crop. It takes 6 to 7 months to reach at the maturity after the flowering, and this one is a climacteric fruit. So, we can harvest it before maturity, so that we can put it in the for the maturity, and because of the sudden rise in the ethylene production as well as respiration, it is known to you that because of the climacteric fruit, we can get the maturity of this fruit even after the harvesting, and the yield is generally 10 to 12 tons per hectare, and fruit ripens after 5 days at the room temperature. So, we have to harvest the fruits and we have to keep in the room temperature for 5 days for the ripening. Generally 1000 ppm ethaphone is used for the early ripening. So, if there is a requirement of the early ripening, then we can use the ethaphone, otherwise at the room temperature it takes 5 days. Now, at what sign or at what period, at what stage we have to harvest the Sapota fruit, it is very important. So, which are the maturity signs which are required for the harvesting of this crop? So, among the maturity signs, develop dull potato color. When there is a development of this type of the color in the fruits, we can harvest it. Yellow scratch instead of the green, and brown sandy material disappears from the surface, and milky latex is reduced, as well as stigma drop off easily. So, these are the 5 maturity signs. On that basis we can decide, we can finalize that whether this crop is ready for the harvesting or not. Okay, these are the different pests which are very important for this sapota crop. Among these, flower bud eating caterpillar, then bark eating caterpillar, as well as fruit borer. These are the main important this pest for this crop. And among the disease, leaf spot and wilt of the sapota, these are the two important disease. If it is appearing more in the crop, then we can say it is very much creating the economical losses to the crop. So, we have to control it initially. Okay, so friends, this is the end of this sapota crop. So, I hope you have